Hey everybody, this video is going to be on how I built my cabin so cheap, and I don't want to use the word cheap. Inexpensive would be a better word. So I've seen a lot of videos showing, hey, we built this cabin, for $3,000 and I'm going to be drinking coffee while I talk. And then you go look at the cabin that they built, and it's, the inside of it's pallet wood. Now, that sounds like a great idea until you research what pallet wood is and then what the chemicals it's got in it. To me, that's building the cabin cheap. And cheap doesn't necessarily mean better, and this is coming from one of the cheapest guys on planet Earth. So let me walk you through how I did it, and what's kind of got me going and wanting to do this video. I was at Lowe's, this nice black lady came up to me and she was asking me questions. You could tell that I kind of knew what I was wanting to buy, what I had in my cart, and she started asking me questions. She was trying to do some fencing and some interior work. And she said she was building an off-grid cabin. I poked the bear a little bit because usually when somebody says they want to go off-grid, they think they're going to save money. Well, you're not really. If you're going to be living and breathing air, it's going to cost you money. Regardless, you pay taxes, right? So, got talking with her, started walking her through things. I kind of busted her bubble, It was like, well, you want to have plumbing, right? And then that's where I'm going back. I see a lot of these videos. They have no plumbing in their cabin. They got no wiring in their cabin. They got no lighting in their cabin. Bare floor, not dirt, but just, plywood that you can't walk barefoot on. Well, yeah, you're saving money. But I'll be honest, to me that's just no way to live. My cabin is, I want you to walk in here and the only thing that that's off-grid is you see solar panels. That's it. So, as you saw by the thumbnail, this cabin got built for 10 grand. And I'm going to stop right there. It did get built for 10 grand. Got the cabin, insulated it, put a few items in it, decking for the deck, all that. It was 10 grand. I lived in that for a year. I could have called it quits right then. So I don't want somebody feeling like you got clickbaited to watch a video. Clickbait is it just rubs me raw when I see it on there. But you can build what I have here for 10 grand. I've seen some guys show a cabin for 5 grand and it's got nothing in it. Matter of fact, they're taking a deuce in the living room. I really, 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 really care about my girlfriend. I don't want to see her taking a deuce in front of me. The honeymoon ain't over. It just makes me sick. So here we are. I did the cabin for 10 grand, and how I got there is I bought a storage shed. And I got a hell of a deal on it. Got it half off. And that's as far as I went. I went as what I could get a great deal on. Got it delivered. About a year later, got another great deal. They had a sale going on. And I joined the two cabins together. And then the deck. With that insulated, the cabins and the deck were at 10 grand. So like I said, I don't want anybody feeling like they got suckered into watching a video, live in a tent type deal. Guess you could do that too. So for 10 grand, you can do that. And another note here too, I thought about getting the camera and panning it around to see you could see everything I've done. I'm really not going to do that in this video. I'm getting a little bit paranoid about privacy issues with YouTube. I've got some crackpot neighbors. Kind of don't want them seeing everything I got at once. So if you want to see what I've done to the cabin and how I got to where I'm at, I've got plenty of videos on how this cabin was put together. There's a future video coming out. I'm getting another building delivered. We're going to build a butcher shop and a walk-in cooler with that. So you'll see that build on how you can transform a storage shed into something practical. So, like I said, we're at 10 grand. And now I could leave it, like I said, I could leave it at that. Let's go into the plumbing. And here's a caveat. If you're going to do this and you want to do it frugally, you cannot pay somebody to do it for you. I only paid for one thing on this cabin, and Buddy Link built the deck. And he actually did it cheaper than I could do it. Somehow he got a good connection on lumber, and time versus money, what he knocked out in a week would have taken me probably 6 to 8 weekends, and I just didn't want to give that up when I had so many other fish to fry. That said, I don't regret him doing it, but I would have had more pride of ownership if I just slowed my roll down and did it myself. So, and like I said, you have to do it yourself. If you're going to pay somebody, you need to already forget about it, because one, you need to know how to do it. Two, you need to know how to fix it. So the plumbing, I went with PEX. I went with drain lines. I did not go with a septic system. I went with a gray water system using biochambers. We used composting toilets. That saved me a lot of money in fixtures and plumbing. My hot water is a combination of a hot water shower, and it feeds the hot water to the cabin. I have another video. Like I said, I'll have all these videos, but I've got my, during the winter when this is being filmed, my wood stove heats my hot water. I've got a tank that's built into the stovepipe. Plenty of hot water. And I don't want to say it's free, because cutting wire or cutting firewood takes time, right? And time's money. But it's not using propane and it's not using electricity. And so it works. So here's a caveat here too. My electrical cost me $3 grand. That's copper has gone out through the roof. So another thing I'll try to do to be frugal, like the PEX and the copper wiring, there'll be sales every once in a while. You'll get a flyer from Lowe's or your box store that you're near, or your mom and pop, and I'll buy it. And then I'll make these areas in my shop with a label in that area. This is my plumbing project. This is my electrical project. And I'll just keep gathering material and putting it at that lump of work area. If you went in my shop, you would have seen all this copper wiring stacked up, and the boxes, and all the devices. Got them on sale. Everything I got is on sale, or a repo. So, but the solar, I've got over $10,000 on it, and that's where you're going to divide your decision if you want to go off grid or not. I'll tell you, I've got another video on that. It's not worth it to go off grid if you can be on grid. Quit using devices, bring your electrical load down, and you're actually going to come out way, way much more ahead by just frugally using electricity. So another thing that cost me some money, we're back to another $2 grand. All the peripheral and all of the plumbing that it took to go to propane. I've got a propane furnace in the main area. I've got a propane furnace in the bedroom area. My cook stove is propane. My appliances, refrigerator and freezers, are propane. I try to use propane as much as I can. Where I went frugally, because if you think about it, to get gas lines run, you need to be a gas fitter that's certified. Well, I don't know many people who are and who can do that work. I can cut the pipe, thread the pipe, screw it together and all that, but I wanted to save money. So what I went with was propane, barbecue propane lines that are stainless steel. They got a stainless steel braid over them. That way the mice and the rats can't chew it up. And I ran it for every device. It's worked out great. Is it code? If an inspector came in this cabin, he'd probably freak out. But it's safe. I've got valves for cutoffs. I've plumbed it to be code other than the barbecue lines that I used. Sometimes you got to make that decision where you're going to save your money at. So back to these other videos that I've seen, and I am going to live off grid and live cheap. You see their cabins. There's no cabin, the cabins. You see no cabinets in it, or you see these open shelves in their kitchen. That's definitely a cheap way to go. I can't stand open shelves in a kitchen. I can't. I want to see the spices away, the dishes away. I want a nice, clean work area. So what I did there, I would only buy cabinets when I could afford it, and I would only buy cabinets, and I was dealing with Lowe's because I want consistency in my cabinets for the look. I would wait till they had a 20% sale. It's usually about almost before summer starts and almost before winter starts. I guess there's a kitchen building season that I don't know about. But I would get these flyers, 20% off. Boom, I'd go down there. So I bought my cabinets in 3 lots. There was 3 separate sales, and I saved 20%, and plus that I used the Lowe's credit card. I saved another 10%. So I saved money. So in all my cabinetry and all that, I probably got another 3 grand in it. So we're already at another 10 grand. So to say the cabin got built at 10 grand like you saw in the thumbnail, absolutely true. To make it more homey, another 10 grand, and that's usually about right. Whatever it takes to dry something in, you can almost double what it's going to take to make it a home. The flooring, we did it all ourselves. Laid it down, nailed it down. Is as professionally installed as it could be? No, it was my first attempt. Could I do it better next time? Most definitely. But I did it myself, and I saved a ton of money. I got the flooring on sale. So the cabin, it's 10 grand, and I would really hope that you'll go into the playlist and see the other things that we've done to the cabin, and that way you'll get an idea of maybe what you want to do. Like I said, I just don't want to do a step-by-step, this is what we've done, this is what we've done, because two, I don't like regurgitated footage, and if I showed you everything again in this cabin, if you've been watching the videos, you've already seen it. And if you haven't seen it, welcome to the channel. But I'm going to go back to one more thing, and I can't drive this home enough. It's one, I see the cheap builds on YouTube and some other places. Pinterest has got some really horrible, yeah, it looks good on paper. Like the pallets on the wall. I would not want to live in that cabin due to off-gassing of chemicals. A lot of those pallets come from China, and if wood is transported internationally, they have to put insecticides in it, and they fumigate them, and it's just on and on. It's got arsenic in it. No, I looked at doing a shipping container. I was going to go with shipping containers instead of doing the storage buildings. The wood that's in a shipping container for the flooring is impregnated with all kinds of chemicals, and then you don't know what's spilled on it. So if you're going to go off-grid and you want to build a cabin or a house or however, whatever you want to build, you're going to have to do it yourself. If you don't have those skills, you need to take a big pause. Learning costs money. And if you don't have the skills and you think you're immediately just going to do it, that to me is foolish. You need to get some skills. Do some small projects at your house. I like Roby Tools. I'm not sponsored. But Roby Tools, when I bought all the packages, really upped my game on my woodworking skills. I'm an electrician. I'm not a carpenter. But I'm proud at the work I've done in the cabin on my woodworking now. The tools most definitely help. So do some woodworking projects. If you don't want to spend the money on cabinets because they're so expensive, just go ahead and build you one for your shop or your laundry room or something. Because a lot of this comes from confidence too. You need to I can do that. I'm going to go do it. I'm not paying anybody. And you need to have that mindset. And two, if you want a remote cabin, you're really going to have to know how to do it because nobody's going to come out and work on your place. It's hard enough to find somebody to work on your stuff in the city. A case in point, my road is so terrible coming in here, I bought a Japanese mini truck. I do a lot of trips in that truck, just hauling material from a big truck to a small truck to the cabin. So, but I'm doing it all myself. That kind of gives you independence too. And with the price of material going up right now, I just paid $7 for a 2x4 the other day. You're gonna have to do it yourself. If not, wow, I don't know how you can afford it. I know a lot of people that were building and stopped. I've got 2 friends that dried in as best they could their homes that they're building and stopped. One of them's got visqueen on the walls to keep it dried in till hopefully lumber drops. So. But anyway, I'm hoping that'll help. Please watch the other videos. It'll give you an idea how this came together to cost what it does. And I really do appreciate you watching the channel. We're growing, and the comments that I'm getting, it's people that are actually wanting to do stuff themselves and not just be entertained with the off-grid lifestyle or a home and garden network. Oh, look at the cute couple type stuff. I do appreciate you watching. It's a very big deal, and take care and God bless.